Kangaroo Island lies off the mainland of South Australia, southwest of Adelaide. Over a third of the island is protected in nature reserves, home to native wildlife like sea lions, koalas, and diverse bird species. In the west, Flinders Chase National Park is known for penguin colonies and striking coastal rock formations, like the sculpted Remarkable Rocks and the stalactite-covered Admiral's Arch. There's an unmistakable sanctity about Kangaroo Island. With its raw and rugged coastline, impeccably clear waters, natural wonders, and wildlife, Kangaroo Island is known as nature's playground. As you step off onto the island, it's impossible not to relax. Follow the road less traveled and discover unique wildlife, mouth-watering food and wine, breathtaking scenery, and a laid-back lifestyle. Flinders Chase National Park, formerly Flinders Chase, is a protected area in the Australian state of South Australia located at the west end of Kangaroo Island, about 177 kilometers, 110 miles, west-southwest of the state capital of Adelaide and 110 kilometers, 68 miles, west of the municipal seat of Kingscote. It is a sanctuary for endangered species and home to a few geological phenomena. Kangaroo Island is a wildlife hotspot. Despite a strong agricultural industry, nearly half of the original vegetation has been retained and over one-third of the land is protected across 30 national and conservation parks. This provides a fantastic habitat for a huge range of wildlife species, with some now endemic to the island. Kangaroo Island is famous for their cuddly koalas. Well, at Kangaroo Island Wildlife Park you can hold one. This unforgettable experience is a true must-do when visiting this beautiful island. Early morning and early evening are the most ideal times to visit Kangaroo Island Remarkable Rocks, not only to avoid large crowds, but also to enjoy the stunning sunrises and sunsets around these impressive sculptures. Many of the rocks are covered by golden orange lichen, and interpretation signs describe even more details about the formation of the rocks. Black mica, bluish quartz, and pinkish feldspar comprise most of the granite of Remarkable Rocks. These flat rocks are easy and safe to walk on during dry weather, but special caution should be taken when weather conditions become wet or windy. Strong winds and slippery rocks make it far easier to fall into the water. In December, black swans move in large numbers to the sheltered waters around American River as the freshwater wetlands dry up. The black swan is the only swan in the world that is entirely black. The bill of the black swan is a dark orange and the end of the wings are white and distinct white band around the end. When younger, the black swan is more of a gray color and have black wingtips. The black swan is found throughout Australia with exception of Cape York Peninsula. You can find black swans in large slat or fresh waterways and wetlands which have at least 40 m to take off. They rest through the day and travel through the night. They can fly long distances at a time. Agriculture is Kangaroo Island's largest industry, with sheep, meat, and wool its major contributor. Primary industries and region South Australia figures had sheep stock losses during the Kangaroo Island fires at more than 51,000, almost 10% of the island's pre-fire flock of 600,000. Seal Bay Conservation Park is just 45 minutes from Kangaroo Island's main town of Kingscote. Discovering the Australian sea lion colony in such magnificent wilderness makes Seal Bay an unforgettable experience. It's a must-do when visiting the island. There are no enclosures or cages at Seal Bay. Instead, you will be taken into the heart of the colony where our experienced guides will teach you about these endangered animals. If you prefer, you can set your own pace on the wheelchair-accessible 900-meter return boardwalk which meanders through the dunes to a number of viewing platforms. Kangaroo Island kangaroos are the only species of roo found on the island and are quite unique from other species. Characterized by their smaller size, thick dark brown fur, and slow movement, Kangaroo Island kangaroos are the calmest of the species in Australia. Due to being an isolated island, predators such as dingoes and introduced species like foxes have not been a threat to these animals. With no large predators, the kangaroos have been able to live their lives with relatively no danger for thousands of years. As a result, they are some of the friendliest roos in Australia and are quite slow to move away from humans as they're still learning that we pose a threat to them. Today, the biggest risk to these animals are car accidents and dog attacks. Despite this, their numbers have continued to flourish. It is estimated there could be up to 65,000 of them across the island. That's more than 14 kangaroos for each resident. The Kangaroo Island kangaroo has the thickest fur of all kangaroos, and for good reason. Unlike the roos of Australia's outback, these animals need to keep warm through cold coastal winters. The roos spend most of their days lying in the scrub. At dusk and dawn, they come out from the scrub to feed on the vast grassy areas. Their social groups operate primarily around females, and mobs tend to move in family groups. Kangaroo Island kangaroos reproduce all year round, however there is a spike in births over the summer months. So be sure to keep an eye out for any little joeys poking their heads out to say hello. Sometimes the kangaroo's curiosity gets the best of them and they might come up to say hello or get a better look at you. Despite their tame nature, you should never touch or feed wild kangaroos. They may be smaller than their mainland cousins, but they are still extremely strong and dangerous. Feeding them can also cause issues as human food can have a negative impact on their health. Additionally, if they become accustomed to free food, there can be negative impacts on the island's ecosystem.